Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi distributes appointment letters to 71,000 recruits in government departments. 3-day annual conference of DGPs and IGPs begins in New Delhi. About 19 lakh new employees brought under Employee State Insurance Scheme in November last year. IT giant Google to lay off 12,000 employees due to difficult economic scenario. And in men's World Cup hockey, Australia thrashed South Africa 9-2 while Belgium defeats Japan 7-1 in Odisha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the government is working towards making the recruitment process more transparent, streamlined and time-bound. He was addressing the new recruits after distributing over 71,000 appointment letters virtually in various central government departments and organizations in New Delhi under the third tranche of Rozgar Mela. Addressing the new recruits, the Prime Minister said appointments in various government departments will bring a new ray of hope in the lives of thousands of families. He said Rozgar Mela is the government's endeavour to empower the country's youth and more recruitments will take place in the coming years. The Prime Minister said he asked the new recruits to focus on the service delivery by following the mantra, "Citizen is always right." The Prime Minister interacted with some of the appointees on the occasion. The new recruits thanked the central government for providing job opportunities.
Hello, my name is Nitin and I have joined as tax assistant in CBDT. यहाँ रोजगार मेले में मुझे अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर मिला है आज. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से काफ़ी अच्छी स्कीम है. इतना फास्ट प्रोसेस पहले कभी हुआ नहीं है, तो इट वॉज वेरी गुड एक्सपीरियंस.
This is Dr. Shagun Danda and I have been appointed as Assistant Professor in Botany Department in Daulat Ram College, and I'm extremely happy to share that I have been appointed here after 6 years, and I want to thank Government of India for providing us this opportunity, and thank you so much.
Similarly, appointment letters were distributed by union ministers in the states of Assam, Maharashtra, Kerala, Haryana and Delhi. Minister of State for the Department of Personnel and Training, Dr. Jitendra Singh said the Prime Minister had directed to fill up 10 lakh posts in the government departments. 3-day annual conference of DGPs and IGPs began in New Delhi today in a hybrid format. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend the meeting tomorrow. Chairing the conference on the first day, Home Minister Amit Shah said Indian agencies have succeeded in establishing their strong supremacy under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He added that India today stands safe, sound and on a good footing. About 100 invitees, including DGPs of states and UTs and heads of Central Armed Police Forces and Central Police Organizations, are attending the conference in person. The remaining invitees are participating virtually from across the country. The conference is to discuss a wide range of issues including cybercrime, technology in policing, counter-terrorism challenges, left-wing extremism, capacity building and prison reforms. The conference is the culmination of extensive deliberations involving police and intelligence officers from district, state and national levels on identified themes. External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar has said that India is a reliable neighbour, a trustworthy partner and one who is prepared to go the extra mile when Sri Lanka feels the need. He said his visit expresses India's solidarity with Sri Lanka in difficult times, in line with the neighbourhood first policy of Prime Minister Modi. He added that it was India's intention to clear the way for Sri Lanka to move towards recovery and growth. India has become the first creditor nation to extend assurance towards restructuring the debt of Sri Lanka as the island nation makes efforts to unlock a bridge financing package from the IMF. Our correspondent reports that Dr. Jaishankar made this announcement during his just concluded 2-day visit to Sri Lanka.
Having secured the financial assurance from India, Sri Lanka has expressed its gratitude to the Indian government for assurance given to the IMF for restructuring of its debt. The assurance comes at a time when Sri Lanka is making efforts to unlock a $2.9 billion bridge financing from IMF. During the bilateral discussions, connectivity, tourism, energy security and trade were discussed. Several initiatives were concluded, which includes signing of MOU on Indian grant assistance for implementation of high-impact community development projects as well. Dr. Jaishankar also participated in virtual inauguration ceremonies to hand over Kandyan Dance Academy and over 300 houses in various parts of Sri Lanka. For AIR News, Ahmed Moin Farooqi, Colombo.
The first meeting of the G20 Health Working Group meeting under India's presidency concluded in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala today. Our correspondent reports that effective discussions were held in the three-day meeting on the possibilities of international cooperation in the health sector, focusing on universal health coverage.
Dr. V.K. Paul, Member Health Nidhi Aayog, said that medical value travel plays a crucial role in eliminating healthcare disparities across the globe, and through the first G20 Health Working Group meeting under India's presidency, aims to create pathways to bridge this gap. Mr. Paul said this today on the closing day of the G20 Health Working Group meeting in Thiruvananthapuram. The three-day meeting focused on three priority issues such as solution to the urgent challenges in the health sector, international cooperation in the field of pharmaceuticals and digital health. Union Minister of State for Health, Bharati Praveen Pawar, Minister of State for External Affairs, V. Muralidharan, senior officials of Health Ministry, health experts, representatives from G20 countries, international organizations and other special invitees participated in the meeting. Mayush Shah, AIR News, Thiruvananthapuram.
The Employees State Insurance Scheme ESI has added nearly 19 lakh new employees under its fold in the month of November 2022. The provisional payroll data released today reflects that there is a year-on-year increase of 5.24 lakhs in ESI scheme's net membership in November 2022 as compared to the corresponding month in 2021. Of the total employees added during the month, 8.78 lakh employees belong to the age group of 18 to 25 years. The Employees Provident Fund Organization, EPFO, has added 16,26,000 net members in the month of November last year. The Labour and Employment Ministry said the data indicates an increase of over 25% net additions compared to October 2022. The ministry said around 9 lakh new members have come under the ambit of EPFO. Union Minister of State for Personnel Dr. Jitendra Singh today lauded the efforts of the Staff Selection Commission for deciding to conduct the multitasking non-technical staff examination 2022 in 13 regional languages, in addition to Hindi and English for the first time. Dr. Jitendra Singh asserted that after this historic move, efforts are on to gradually include all the languages mentioned in the 8th schedule to the Constitution. The Centre has released endorsement guidelines for celebrities, influencers and virtual influencers on social media platforms. The guidelines aim to ensure that individuals do not mislead their audiences when endorsing products or services. This has led to an increased risk of consumers being misled by advertisements and unfair trade practices by these individuals on social media platforms. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
नमस्कार, मैं प्रशांत कुमार आ रहा हूं शनिवार को रात 9:30 बजे अभ्यास प्रोग्राम में। विषय है दर्शन शास्त्र। आप जरूर सुनिएगा FM गोल्ड 100.1 पर।
Welcome back. You're listening to the news at 9 on All India Radio. Google's parent company Alphabet Inc. has announced that it is laying off 12,000 employees due to difficult economic cycles. In his email to employees, Chief Executive Officer Sundar Pichai said the company has decided to reduce its workforce by approximately 12,000 roles. He said the company has already sent a separate email to employees in the US who are affected. In other countries, this process will take longer due to local laws and practices. Google's decision to lay off 12,000 employees comes amid a big churn in the technology sector, with other giants like Microsoft, Amazon, Meta and Twitter also trimming their workforce. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, has imposed a fine of 30 lakh rupees on Air India over the incident of passenger misbehavior on its flight from New York to New Delhi. The incident occurred on the 26th of November last year. The regulator also suspended the license of the pilot for 3 months while imposing a penalty of 3 lakh rupees on Director In-Flight Services of Air India for failing to discharge her duties. As per the regulations, the concerned airline is responsible for informing the DGCA within 12 hours of landing of the aircraft of any incident of unruly passengers on their flight. In view of the assembly election in Tripura, the Election Commission has decided to depute 3 special observers to ensure proper deployment of the Central Armed Police Forces in the state. The decision was taken in connection with the alleged attack over State Congress in charge Ajay Kumar. The Election Commission said the report from the state government confirms that Dr. Ajay Kumar sustained minor injuries in an unlawful rally, and it is not true that he received serious injuries. The government has called upon bankers to ensure availability of at least one banking outlet within 5 kilometers of all inhabited villages in aspirational districts. Secretary, Department of Financial Services Dr. Vivek Joshi chaired a review meeting with lead district managers of aspirational districts and state-level bankers committee conveners in New Delhi today. He also asked the banks to work on further increasing credit penetration in 112 aspirational districts. During the meeting, banks were also requested to run financial literacy camps in villages with the help of Panchayati Raj institutions to further improve the performance of financial inclusion schemes. Dr. Joshi appreciated the efforts of state-level bankers committee in furthering the drive of financial inclusion in the country and requested them to utilize the next 6 months to achieve the set milestones. The Sensex and the Nifty today witnessed modest losses amid mixed global cues. The rupee logged a gain of 23 paise against the US currency, a report from the business desk.
Sensex declined by 237 points to end at 60,622. Nifty 50 also slipped 80 points to finish at 18,027. In the foreign exchange market, the rupee logged gains of 23 paise to close at 81 rupees and 12 paise against the US dollar. At the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for February was trading at 56,705 rupees per 10 grams. In intra-day trade, Brent crude was trading at $86.65 per barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
In the FIH Hockey Men's World Cup today at Rourkela, Odisha, Australia thrashed South Africa 9-2, while France and Argentina settled for a draw, scoring 5 goals each. Belgium defeated Japan 7-1. Germany won their match against South Korea 7-2. Telangana Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan today said space research should aim at improving living conditions of the poor in the country. Emphasizing on the need for intensified research in the space sector, the governor said it was important to explore the application of the research findings for the benefit of humanity. Speaking at the seminar on the recent trends in space sector, New India, organized by the Academy of Science, Technology and Communication and the National Academy of the Science, India, in Hyderabad, she said the space sector has been witnessing massive increase in funding during the last 8 years. The governor lauded the efforts of the space scientists towards making India self-reliant in the space sector and for taking up prestigious missions to launch a large number of satellites at one go. In Gujarat, India Post started Tarang Mail service to deliver parcels and mail through the sea route. Union Minister of State for Communications, Devusen Chauhan, flagged off the service at Hajira Port in Surat today. India Post has decided to use RoPax ferry services on Gogha-Hajira route for speedy postal services between Saurashtra, South Gujarat and Mumbai. The minister said the initiative will take forward Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of encouraging the use of waterways for transport in the country. He said the service will not only bring down the delivery transportation time of about 10 to 12 hours to 3 to 4 hours, but will also enable swift movement of industrial packages between Saurashtra, South Gujarat and Mumbai regions. The Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Dhaka Marathon 2023 was inaugurated by Bangladesh Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan in Dhaka today. A total of 2,163 runners participated in the full marathon and half marathon. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi distributes appointment letters to 71,000 recruits in government departments. 3-day annual conference of DGPs and IGPs begins in New Delhi. About 19 lakh new employees brought under Employee State Insurance Scheme in November last year. IT giant Google to lay off 12,000 employees due to difficult economic scenario. And in Men's World Cup hockey, Australia thrashed South Africa 9-2, while Belgium defeat Japan 7-1 in Odisha. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.